Welcome, and tonight on The Experience, we're going to be bringing you in this half hour a look at an African-American study that is going on here in Worcester that talks about the experience of African-Americans in the city of Worcester. Also, though, we begin the program with the College of the Holy Cross, and Professor Sánchez is here with us. The name of the book is Destined for Failure. Nick, thank you so much for coming by and for being here. Also, the two other authors who are part of Destined for Failure, which is a provocative title. We're very pleased to have Christopher Kopp with us and Francis Sanzari. Thank you for being here as well. Let's talk a little bit about this. Now, you're the professor of the economics department, the head of the economics department. Have a couple of seniors who are here with you, both of them double majors, both of them honors students, which I guess explains why they had so much free time to be able to write this book with you. This seems like quite an undertaking.
Well, it was a different experience for me, and I will say I have been chair of the economics department. I am not the chair anymore. I have been at Holy Cross for 33 years, and I am now very close to retirement.
That explains maybe why you had some more time. But give me, Christopher, for example, I mean, what it was like. How did this book come about? And then we'll get into a little bit about what the book deals with.
Excellent. Well, in the fall of 2008, as the United States entered the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, Francis and I were students of Professor Sánchez in a macroeconomic class. And throughout the course, we studied many of the issues that we discuss in the book. So when the semester was wrapping up, Professor approached us and asked us if we'd like to be part of this project. And it's because outside of class, we had demonstrated an interest. Inside class, we had performed strongly. So it just became a project that we thought the three of us could really tackle. We could put a unique perspective, and we could communally create a product or a book that would be intelligible to the average reader, which is what we really wanted to do.
I'm all for that. Francis, tell me a little bit about actually putting the book together and how you were able to communicate or hope to communicate with the average reader.
Well, Professor Sánchez, I would say, really came up with a lot of the initial theory. He had when he came to us, he had a good idea of how he wanted the book to be structured. And we sat together and really came up with case studies of reasons that the U.S. economy is in crisis, or was in crisis, and still is in crisis. So we thought by bringing real-world examples into the picture, we would be able to communicate with people much better than bringing abstract equations or heavy financial lingo into the book. So we were able to work on case studies, really, and bring that in.
Nick, tell us a little bit about that, because, again, it's a very provocative title, Destined for Failure, American Prosperity in the Age of Bailouts.
Well, whenever people discuss the current meltdown, what they do is they talk about Keynesian economics. And what happened is that in my class I use growth theory, which is quite different. And, you know, regrettably, it is quite mathematical, and of course that is one reason why the general public is not aware of it. So my idea was, I mean, I could see everything coming. And I said, well, you know, the general public is not aware of growth theory. Therefore, the whole idea is to try to convey the meaning and the difference between growth theory and Keynesian economics. And so that is why Francis refers to case studies, because I thought, even though there are two chapters on theory, but the whole idea is to try to convey the main ideas in a way that the ideas are applied.
Nick, tell me a little bit more, if you can, give me a little bit more of an overview. You know, Christopher was talking about how it's going to be understandable for someone like myself, a layperson. I mean, what is it that you would want me to get out of reading the book? Well,
right now, the discussion is about either increasing government expenditures or decreasing taxes. And of course, that is the main idea of Keynesian economics. In growth theory, instead, what you focus is on how well the markets are functioning. You focus on savings, you know, rather than expenditures, and you focus on technological change. So the whole focus of the book is basically how well markets are doing, how much we're saving, how much technological change there is. And, you know, also point out, of course, why Keynesian theory fails, which, you know, is also explained in the book.
Francis, how much of this, if you pick up the book, you read it, Destined for Failure, American Prosperity in the Age of Bailouts, how much when the average person reads it can they then apply, for example, to the politics of the day, if they're making an informed decision on who to vote for president, or here in the elections coming up in November in Massachusetts, we seem to have two very different approaches in Deval Patrick and Charlie Baker into how the direction of the state should go.
Well, I think the whole of the book is applicable to the politics of the time, and that's really by taking the theory and applying it to real-world examples, you can look at the policies of each candidate and really understand what their priorities are. And our book, as it focuses on growth theory and on productivity growth within the economy, really explains why we need to focus on being more productive. And then using the framework of the book, I think the average person really is able to analyze current events and current politics and take that into their own understanding.
All right, much more to come right here on the Hank Stolz Experience.